Hello, stamping friends. This is Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, in Iowa. And today I have a quick and easy card, and we're going to use the Hello Harvest stamp set and the dies that come with it. And if you purchase those together, you can save 10%, and that's called a bundle. And a bundle is a stamp set and dies, or a stamp set and punch. And the Hello Harvest is a stamp set and dies. I'm going to turn the camera down, and we're going to talk about some things that are happening in Stampin' Up! And we'll make a card. Okay, so I want to show you some things that's going on with Stampin' Up! in my store. You can go to Stampin'Up.com, and when you go there, it'll say weekly deals, and it will keep scrolling. But there's 3 little lines up here, and you can just touch that and go to specials, and then it'll say specials, bundled savings, clearance, and September weekly deals. When you order, don't forget to always check out that clearance section. We're going to click on September weekly deals. And every week, Stampin' Up! During the month of September are going to offer weekly deals. And right now we have, I believe, 12, but we'll count them. And this is going on now through the 7th of September, and then the 8th starts another week of weekly deals. But right now, you can, the Splendid Day Specialty Designer Series paper is on sale for $12. Craft note cards and envelopes is normally $10. It's now $8. These brushed brass butterflies, and let me see, because I have some of those, and as you can see, I have used quite a few, and I really like these. They are normally $10, but this week, right now, they are $8. And then the classic matte dots are $6.30. Summer shadow dies were normally $34. They're $27.20. The brushed metallic adhesive back dots are $8.10. Am I counting them? That's 6. And here we have 9, so 12 items. Yes, the craft gift boxes, normally $10 or $8. Craft paper pack is $4.80, normally $6. And these round and square brads are $6.10. And the linen specialty paper is $4.80. It's 12 by 12. I believe you received 2 sheets of that. And this open weave ribbon pale papaya is $6.30, normally $7. And the snowfall accent puff paint, which is really fun, is $3.60. So those are the specials that's going on right now. And then again, each week in September, Stampin' Up! Is going to offer new weekly deals. And we also have some dies that coordinate with stamps that are already in our catalog. And it's called Perfect Partners. So I typed in the search Perfect Partners. Promotion begins today. So I'm going to click on that. And it doesn't like that, so we will try. It scrolls up. So I went back to the home page of Stampin' Up. And here are the 6 new dies. Trimming the Tree bundle. So now there are dies. This is in the annual catalog. And the Yeti, it has dies now. We already had the stamp set. This birthday Piggy bundle. And I can just click on it and it will bring it up so you can see it a little bit. So isn't that a cute stamp set already? And now it has dies with it. If I can go back, we will see. And the Waterfall Canyon bundle. So if you do not have the stamp set, you can purchase the stamp set and the dies and save 10% by purchasing that as a bundle. But if you already have the stamp set, you can go ahead and purchase just the dies. And then the Apple Harvest bundle. The stamp set is already in the catalog, but now you can purchase the dies. And Fresh Cut Flowers. Stamp set now has dies to go with that. And I think I covered all 6. So those are some things that are happening. If you would like to keep up with what is going on in Stampin' Up, there'll be a link down below in the description where you can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button down below. I'd appreciate it. So today, this is the card that we're going to make, and I've made it a Thinking of You card, which is not a sentiment in the Hello Harvest stamp set, but you could use any of the sentiments that's in the Hello Harvest stamp set. I just need some Thinking of You cards. So I used another stamp set, which I will share. So what we're going to need to make this card, we will be using the stitched rectangles, and it does not come in this case. I just put them in here, but we're going to be using the small stitched rectangle, and that's going to be for our label. And this is the stamp set we're going to use. I really love this stamp set. I think beautiful images. We have a couple little extra little, I don't know, designs and lines and some dots. The sentiments, you are such a blessing. Hello, you are missed. And then we have a label already. You can just stamp and die cut out. Wishing you the loveliest day. Beautiful flowers here. Another flower by itself. Leaf and the pumpkin. And the dies are called Rustic Pumpkin Dies. And we're going to be using this, cuts out this image. And we're going to be using that image today. We're going to be stamping the pumpkin. So we are going to be using this die. And you also have a die that cuts out the leaf, the flower, the label, this right here. Wishing you the loveliest day. You have some extra dies, and these dies, you can make your own pumpkin, and then you have the little stem. So how cute is that? So really great dies and a lot of things that you can do. And then you have some, I don't know if that will cut that out or not, but there might be one in here that will. Okay, let's just move on. Move those aside. And then the greeting that I use, the Thinking of You greeting, is from the Go-To Greetings. What I like about this stamp set is that you have Happy Birthday, Thinking of You, Just a Note, Thank You. But then you have them, and Hello. And then you have them in different sizes and different fonts. The Go-To Greetings you will find in the annual catalog along with the stitched rectangles. Those are in the annual catalog. Whereas the stamp set and the dies I'm going to use today are in the mini July through December of 2022. And then I'm going to embellish. I embellished the card that I showed you with our basic rhinestones, but I'm going to use these amber gems that are in the mini catalog for this card that we're going to make today. Okay. For cardstock, you're going to need basic white. I always use thick. And this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.5. And then I always like to take my bone folder and give it a good crease. You'll need early espresso, and this is 5.25 by 4. We're going to emboss this with the painted texture 3D folder, which I didn't show you, but we're going to be using that, so I will show you. And then we're going to be using the Gingham Designer Series paper, which I just simply love. And this is in the mini catalog. You get like 48 sheets of the gingham. And you have on one side, this is garden green, so you have smaller gingham. And then on the back, you have larger. But several different colors in here. As a matter of fact, on the back, and in case you didn't realize that, on the back of your Designer Series paper, it always shows you the coordinating colors that are in your pack. So we have Basic Gray, Black, Blushing Bride, Calypso Coral, Garden Green, Mint Macaron, Pumpkin Pie, Real Red, Smoky Slate, So Saffron, and White. And then you'll need some scrap of basic white to do your stamping. We are going to stamp first, and 2 inks, your Memento Tuxedo Black and Garden Green is what we're going to use. I need to pull out the pumpkin stamp because I haven't mounted that. And what I like to do is just lay it on my grid paper, bring in my block, and pick it up. And you can most certainly stamp this way, but I'm going to pick up my Memento Black. You can probably see I have some writing on there. I kind of mark like which one is the newest, and I have a couple of these. When I have card class, you need more than one. You could also use your Stamparatus. That way, if you didn't get it, your image as dark as you wanted. You could stamp it again. Now I'm going to bring in the flower image, and we're going to stamp this twice. And this way I can see that it's inked up well. Straight down, straight up. And we'll do that one more time. And I've done that, and I'm going to use the Thinking of You. And I wasn't sure if I have enough room, but I do, so I can stamp it on here, but I'll just go ahead and stamp it on the scrap paper that we're using. I'm going to do that again. I don't think that. There we go. And even, I guess, even if it wasn't completely straight, when you use a die, you can move it around so your sentiment is straight. I'm going to do a little bit of coloring. I'm going to be using the light and dark So Saffron, light Sweet Sorbet, light Granny Apple Green, and I have crumb cake. So I'm going to take the dark crumb cake, and we're going to start with the little stem of our pumpkin. Then I'm going to bring in our light. And I'm going to start with the dark So Saffron. And of course, you could make your pumpkin pie, Cajun craze. You could even put a couple different colors on your pumpkin. And then I'm just going to, I'm going over the marks that are already there in the dark. And then I'm just kind of shading in on the side here and on the bottom to give it a little definition. And then I'm going to come back with the light. And then I'm just going to kind of blend that together. Bring it up from the bottom. And with Stampin' Blends, you can go over this again, and then you will get a darker color. And since pumpkins usually aren't all the same shade, I'm going to come back with the dark. So Saffron. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of shading here. So we're going to make a little bit darker in places, and then a little bit lighter in the middle. But you can experiment and decide how you want to do that. And I'm going to come back with the light. And just kind of go around here. Okay, and that's all I need to do for the pumpkin. For the flower, I will do one on camera. The other one I'll go ahead and do off camera. And I added light pumpkin pie to the middle of the flowers. So I had to grab that because I didn't have that out, did I? To show you, but I do now. And it's almost just as easy to do both of these at the same time, but I'm just going to do one so you don't have to sit here and watch. You can do your flowers in So Saffron. You can use the light or the dark. You can go over these sunflowers where there's markings with the dark and then come back in with the light. Today I am just going to color them with the light So Saffron. We will be die cutting these out. Then I'm going to come back in with the light Granny Apple Green. I'm using, in our DSP, it is Garden Green. But we do not have a Garden Green Stampin' Blend. So you could use any of the greens, Old Olive. But I'm using Granny Apple Green because I think it's kind of bright and cheerful. And again, if you wanted to add a little more definition, you could come in with the dark and the light. But these are fairly small, so it's kind of hard, a little bit more difficult to get that definition. And then there's two flowers. And I'm going to just color those, give it a pop of color with the Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to come back with the Granny Apple Green because I missed a leaf here, but you wouldn't have to color all of the leaves because we're not going to color those. We're just going to leave it like it is. Okay, let me go ahead and do this next one. Okay, and then I decided to go ahead and do a couple of the small flowers. We might add those on. So now I'm ready to die cut. But I like to kind of cut around or you can use your trimmer, but I like to die cut these out individually, if that makes sense. So let me bring in our die cutting machine. If you heard a little noise a few minutes ago, it's because I forgot to turn off my air conditioner and it's rather loud. Plate 1, this is the mini, and plate 2, and then we'll start with the pumpkin. The mini is a little bit easier for me to show on camera. And then I'm going to line up the die. Remember, the flat side is towards you, so this is the flat side. Especially if you're new to stamping, you might not know that. And then plate 2. So we're making kind of a sandwich. And then we'll start that, hang on to the top, and away we go. Then you just gently, I kind of use these little sticky notes. And here is our pumpkin already cut out. Now we will do the flower, and we will line this up. If I turn it the right way, it might be more helpful. There we go. And again, I am going to use the sticky notes because I just do not want it to move. And did you see that? I moved it, putting the sticky note on. Okay, get it like you want, and then there we go. So I already ran it through. And here is our flower. And to save time, I have the other one. So lay those down, get rid of the scraps. And now we are ready to die cut our sentiment. And we would take that stitched rectangle and go ahead and if you're new to stamping, when I say the flat side, that is the smooth side that you want up towards you, because if you turn it over, then you see the stitched part. So that the stitched part is going to go on your cardstock, and that smooth flat side is going to face you. I already have this completed, so here it is to save time. But we will go ahead and die cut these little flowers out. Kind of have to play around and kind of move it around to get it like you want. And I'm just going to leave the other flower on there that we're going to die cut out. And there we have that. And I'll go ahead and do the other one. Before we put our card together, we'll go ahead and bring in our pieces. The early espresso, which is 5 1/4 by 4, we are going to emboss. So I'm going to be bringing in the painted texture embossing folder. And I really do. This is one of my favorites. So I'm just going to place this right inside, and I will need to use our big cut and emboss machine because this is too wide to go through the mini. So I have plate 1, and then I have our embossing folder with the folded side that's going to go through the machine first, and then we just need plate 4 to go on top. And then I'll just run that through. And the magic of the cut and emboss machine. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can use either side. Brought in our silicone craft sheet, and which we're going to need in a second, but right now I'm going to add our early espresso layer to the front of our card. I'm going to bring in our multi-purpose glue. And then we will line this up. So now we're ready. We have all the stamping and the die cutting and embossing, and we're ready to put our card together. Once I have that lined up, just give it some pressure. And then a lot of times I don't use the multi-purpose. I'll use the Stampin' Seal. But this designer series paper, a lot of it's going to be covered up, and one of the reasons, sometimes if you get too much multi-purpose glue, then the designer series paper is a little bit thinner, and then you can see the glue through there. But if you don't add too much, then you should be fine. And I probably really didn't need the silicone craft sheet, but and we'll place that right here. And we have that. I'm going to move this out of the way. And now I'm going to bring in our pumpkin. And I'm going to just place our pumpkin right there. And then I am going to kind of put this flower, lay it on top, and kind of, see that little indentation there? Kind of tuck that in under the stem. But I think in our sample card I had a space here, but I think I would like to maybe wrap this around a little bit more like that. And then we're going to bring this flower and we are going to place it right here, and then we might pop up with these little flowers on the card too. Okay, so I wanted to make sure, kind of want to line it up to make sure that I have it like I want, and that also that I have room for my thinking of you at the top. And now I'm going to bring in some dimensionals. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to our pumpkin. So we'll pop up the pumpkin and the flowers. I'm going to grab a mini to put on that stem. And I think I can get one more right there. I've taken off the backings. And again, I'm going to place our pumpkin about right here. And then we're going to go ahead and I will add dimensionals on the back of our flowers. And I've added dimensionals and I've taken off the backings. So we are going to, again, get that stem right under there and wrap this just around a little bit of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to pick up this one here, and we are going to, so I'm going to pick up this one, and we're going to place it right here. And then I'm going to add dimensionals on the back of our little I'm just about out of my dimensionals, but don't throw this away because you can cut these and use all of these dimensionals or all of these around the side here. And I think I'm going to add an extra one right here, sunflower, and right there. And then I'm going to bring in the Thinking of You, and we're going to add, I'm going to add our mini dimensionals. And I think 4 is just about right. And I'll peel off the last backing. And we're going to place this right up here. Thinking of You. Now, instead of Thinking of You, you most certainly could use Wishing You the Loveliest Day. And you could add that right here. Not add the extra flowers probably, and you could put it right here, but I kind of wanted more of the pumpkin to show, so I wanted my sentiment to be up here. You could also add it down here. Let's bring in our gems. This is they have leaves and amber gem combo pack. So here are the leaves, and you could you can stamp on these. You could add them to a card. You could add them to a tag or a box. So lots of things you can do with the leaves. But we are just going to use the amber gems today for our card. So I'm going to bring in the Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to use that putty. See, there's kind of a glare on there. And we are going to put 2 right up in the corner, a larger one and a smaller one. And I'm going to pick up another large one. And I am going to place it, I guess, right over there. Are you like me? Sometimes you just don't know where you want to add your gems. So this is the card that I showed you. It's our sample card. And then this is the card that we made together. Down below in the description will be all the dimensions and all the supplies that I used today. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. Love for you to shop with me. And my shop link will be in the description. Please consider subscribing. I love to make cards and share them. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.